Hello and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all of North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Offices and StriveScan. Thank you so much for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at CACRAO, CACRAO.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website of CACRAO, CACRAO.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters.
Hello. Okay, hello and welcome everyone. We had a representative for Appalachian State, but she has not logged on yet. So we will move on and go on to Fayetteville State University to start with their presentation.
Well, my name is Michael Head. I am the Senior Associate Director of Admissions here at FSU. I'm also a graduate at FSU. And incidentally, when I enrolled at FSU, I originally was a teacher education major. I switched, probably should have stayed the same, but that's a whole nother gyration. And so I say all that to say that I came to Fayetteville State because I was very, very confident in the idea that Fayetteville State University was able to prepare me to become a teacher if I would have, in fact, continued that route. Brittney, do you have the PowerPoint, the slide?
I've got it up. I think it's being shared already.
Okay, good. Okay, so this is just a little bit of information about Fayetteville State University. We are actually the oldest HBCU in North Carolina that is a public HBCU. We are also the second oldest state university in the UNC system. We were founded in 1867. And right now we have a little bit over 6,700 students at our institution. And coincidentally, we were founded as a teacher's college. So the first degree program that we ever offered at FSU was a degree in education. And so that is one of the things, as I like to say, that we do best, is educate teachers and prepare teachers. We have degree programs at the undergraduate level, the master's degree level, and doctoral program in educational leadership. So we can prepare you at every single level if education is your goal. We offer degree programs in the the areas of elementary education, birth through kindergarten, middle grade, special education, high school education. We also assist with preparing those who want to go off and teach at the collegiate level, for community colleges or the doctoral programs at the universities. We are, one of the advantages of Fayetteville State is we are located in the Fort Bragg region, which is a very, very diverse area. And so it allows our students to incorporate themselves in some schools that will really prepare them for life after their education, and being able to take care of business in any setting amongst any population. With the population that we have here. As an HBCU, we're probably one of the most diverse HBCUs. We're about 60% African-American and almost 40% minority. And so we, although we maintain our history as an HBCU, we're really, really diverse, which offers, again, those experiences that will prepare you for life outside of that education. We also have a child education center right on our campus where some of our education majors have the opportunity to get some hands-on experience at a 5-star daycare, which is located on our campus. We also have a praxis lab. That praxis is one of the phrases that you'll become very, very familiar with as an education major. And so we have a laboratory where students can practice in the praxis lab from day one and prepare themselves to pass and become certified teachers. And so that's a very, very big deal. May not mean anything to you right now, but once you get into those education majors, that praxis lab will be your second home in helping prepare you for licensure later on. And along those lines, for those who have went to college and decided, never intended on being a teacher initially, but now have decided to go in through a lateral entry program or something of that nature, we offer licensure programs for those types of students, which allows you to come to Fayetteville State and get into a licensure program so you can become a certified teacher. We've got a lot of partnerships with substitute teachers in our area right now, or those individuals with associate degrees to help them move through the process of obtaining their bachelor's degree and becoming licensed teachers, because some substitute teachers have been substituting 15 or 20 years. And so we want to make sure that we take those skill sets, match it with the degree that they deserve, and then get them back into the field as the actual teacher in the classroom. And so that's a really, really big deal on our campus, is making sure that we partner with those organizations that are assisting those employees in getting those degrees. So Fayetteville State University is a highly affordable institution. Unfortunately, as a teacher, we all know that teachers are some of the most underpaid individuals in the world when it comes to employment. And so you don't want to commit too much funding into your degree because you'll find yourself a little overwhelmed potentially with student loans afterwards, that kind of thing. And so we want to make sure we get affordable quality education, which allows an individual to graduate, get into their employment, and not feel overwhelmed by the cost of their education kind of following them around for the rest of their lives. And so we think, we have a great opportunity for students who want to become teachers. We've educated individuals who have become teacher of the year, principal of the year, superintendent of the year, not only in our county and our region, but oftentimes within the state. Those individuals have come through our education program at one of those levels, whether it was their undergrad, their master's, or their educational doctoral degree. And so Fayetteville Teachers College, again, is the original name of our institution before we kind of graduated and changed our name along the way. So we were originally founded as a way to educate African-American citizens and put them in the classroom to continue educating each other along the way. And from there, we've just grown into this wonderful institution and have now diversified ourselves in a great way. So hopefully you all will consider Fayetteville State University. We've got great scholarship opportunities for those high achievers out there, and we welcome you. We are going to be participating in, the college application week where you can apply to Fayetteville State for free. So another way for you to seek affordable opportunities here at our institution. So thank you guys, and we look forward to working with you all this year.
Michael, did you want to mention anything about the people that they may be in contact with, Casey or anybody else?
Absolutely. Thank you. Here you see Casey. She is actually the counselor assigned to what I like to call the middle of North Carolina, which is our Cumberland County area all the way up through the Wake County area, the Durham County, Warren County, Granville, Robinson County. So that middle region is where Casey will be your point of contact. And this here is Patrick. Patrick is the Eastern Corridor contact for those up and down 95, all the way to, the Northampton counties, the Wilson counties, the Nash counties, all those areas, all the way down through Greene County, Pender County, so on and so forth. He also connects with students in the Mecklenburg area, Greensboro area, the Forsyth and the Guilford County areas as well. So that's Patrick. He will be your point of contact. And lastly, we've got Amarish Hawkins, who is our Western point of contact. So Asheville, Gastonia, all of those regions that are west of Mecklenburg County, but also the Concord area in that Rowan Cabarrus County, those areas as well. So thank you for bringing that back to my attention. I'm not sure how I forgot that, but those are the people that can get you started on your journey to Fayetteville State University for sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, my name is Brittney Allen, and I'm from North Carolina Agricultural, Technical, and State University, also known as North Carolina A&T. I am the coordinator of recruitment and student success within the College of Education, and our department is pretty much just what we say. We are here to make sure that you are successful doing your matriculation here at A&T. Aggies do, and also Aggies Educate. I know you can see my shirt here, but we do take great pride in all that what we do, especially within the College of Education, because we all know that every major requires what? A teacher. Every major requires a professor. So we, although educators get the short end of the stick sometimes when it comes to pay, but without us, there wouldn't be any other professions, because teachers are that they're needed. And it's such a profession that you can grow in, and not just at your elementary level, you can go to middle school, high school, community college, collegiate. So we like to look at it as the opportunity to where you can think outside of the box. You don't necessarily have to always stay in the classroom. There are many other type of levels of education that you can flow into. We can go to the next slide, Dean. So a little bit about North Carolina A&T. We are the #1, sorry, Fayetteville State, but we are the #1 HBCU, public HBCU, and have been for the last, if I'm not mistaken, 4 consecutive years. We're in the top 50 of social mobility. We're among one of the best in undergraduate teaching, and what we like to also pride ourselves in the College of Education is the small classroom sizes, because we understand and we know that a lot of times it doesn't, being in the big classrooms, you have 100, 200 people at one time, you don't get that one-on-one attention that you may need, especially when coming to a major, something sort of education. We're also among the most innovative schools. Also, we pride ourselves in being one of the most affordable as well. Let me move my little screen over so I can see some of our points. Some points of pride that we have within the College of Education. A&T was ranked #4 in value of the college and education in North Carolina by the NCTQ. We have a 95% pass rate on our Praxis and Pearson license exam. And I want to take a moment and just do a round of applause for that, because that's just a wonderful number. So we work very hard to make sure that you are equipped, that you are ready. So when it comes to taking that licensure exam, that you'll be able to pass it. A lot of times on your first try, that's the goal. So we have put in place a lot of workshops. We put in place a lot of professors for extra tutoring. We have different boot camp sessions that you can attend, because our main goal is to make sure that you are licensed, because what's the whole point of going into education if you can't get the licensure piece? So we do, like I said, we pride ourselves in making sure that you are ready and that you are equipped. We have 100% employment and graduate enrollment rate. So everybody who goes through our program, they're either offered a job or either they're going straight into grad school. We have one of the largest career fairs in the state. We also have an education career fair, where it's just specifically just for the education major. So we have schools from pretty much all over the world who are ready to come to recruit our students. Why? Because they're ready. Why? Because they're equipped. Why? It doesn't take a lot of extra training, because when they're ready to go into the field, they're ready to go. And the main reason that they are just so ready and equipped is because we start your field experience as early as your freshman year. You won't do your student teaching until your senior year, but you get a little bit, we trickle you in your freshman year, your sophomore year, your junior year, then your senior year, you get into your student teaching, like I mentioned before. So you have the opportunity throughout. So a lot of people like coming to the buildings is like, well, y'all don't have a lot of labs, y'all don't have a lot of this, but our lab is in the actual classrooms, because we want to make sure that we give you that hands-on experience. As we all know that with education, every child, every person is different. Every school, every environment is different. So we kind of want to place you in different places so you can know and understand and learn how to adapt to the different environments. A lot of times you can't learn that in a classroom. Your experience is going to be your best teacher at this point. And just over for our 2019-2020, we awarded over $300,000 in scholarship awards, and that was for undergrad and graduate. Our department is getting a lot of grants coming in, which we are extremely proud of, because we know that education is important, but it's also expensive. So we are working at all types of ways just to make sure that we can get some funding for our educators, to make sure that that's the last thing that they have to worry about. Was trying to work 2 and 3 jobs, but also trying to do your field experience. So we're working to get different types of incentives. We're working with different fellowships. We're working with different companies, and they have been generous within the last year or so. As you can see, we awarded over $300,000, and the number is probably close to $400,000, because we did receive a new endowment right at the beginning of the pandemic. So we have a host of different programs within the College of Education. Of course, we have our Bachelor's of Education, elementary education. We also have secondary programs, which include art education, business education, music education, biology, chemistry, history, math. And then on our PhD level, we have educational leadership as well. So we do, you can go ahead, Dean, go to the next slide. We do invite you to join the Aggie family. I know we're going through this pretty quick. We want to make sure that you all have time to ask us questions. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can contact us, and also you can visit the webpage, as you can see at the bottom right is ncat.edu, and you can click on the College of Education. You can get all of our contact information. You can explore the site. You can just kind of see of all the great things that we have to offer in Aggie Land. Aggie Pride.
All right, excellent. So my name is Dean Heath, and I work for UNCW's Watson College of Education. I'm also a graduate of UNCW at the undergrad level, at the graduate level, and I'm also working on a second graduate degree now. So if I look tired, it's because I am. So that being said, what do we look for in a college of education? Well, a nice building's fine. That's really not what matters. What matters is a track record for success. We're always top 5 in teacher preparation programs every year. We have jobs waiting for our students when they graduate. There are so many great opportunities within that help you become an amazing educator. There are great leadership opportunities. So we've got clubs and organizations just for educators to get involved and to start the process of becoming an educator early on. Small class sizes, just like my colleagues have said, that's where you're going to get the bulk of your mentoring opportunities, your structure, your book education. Of course, the practical knowledge happens inside the labs and inside the schools. But we've got engaged faculty and staff that are dedicated to your success. So if you're interested in a particular topic of research, we can help you out with that. If you are interested in a graduate program and you know that your goals require a graduate program, let us know early on, because we can go ahead and pair you up with faculty members from those grad programs, and you could potentially be speaking at conferences, being a published writer before you even get done with your undergrad degree. Field experiences early and often, that's what makes a difference. So all of our students start by doing one-on-one tutoring with a local student from our community. So if you are interested in teaching high school, we actually partner with one of the early colleges, and we go to the early college high school to tutor those students. If you want to work on any other area of education, we have an education lab. We were actually one of the first schools in North Carolina to offer an ed lab, and you start doing your tutoring there. So you learn to teach one-on-one before we put you out into the world, into a classroom. A meaningful internship experience in your final semester. My colleagues have already said that all of the education programs that are worth their salt culminate with a full semester internship. And a lot of times that's going to be the school that's going to offer you that first great job. But every experience, every field experience, think of it like a little mini job interview. Because we've had amazing educators that have come through our programs that get asked from multiple schools to come and work for them. Let's see, majors that support your goals. We're going to talk about the majors that we offer. I'm trying to move a little fast because we've got a lot of information to get through. But we've got a Watson Preview Day coming up on October 17th from 10 to 12. If you're interested in that, you can find that on our website, or you can email me. But that's going to be a day for people who think they want to be educators. It's like a little mini open house, but just for education. So what programs do we offer? We've got education of young children, that's birth through kindergarten. We also offer 2 different programs for special education, general and adapted curriculum. We also have our most popular program, elementary education. We offer middle grades, which you learn to teach 2 different subjects. So you might learn to teach math and English, or science and social studies. Then we also offer a secondary licensure. Now, that's not a program that we offer, because with secondary or high school education, it's important for you to be a subject matter expert. So to become a math teacher, what do you think you major in? That's right, math. But while you're working on that math degree, we're going to help you with the pedagogy, the classroom management, the student behavior, the student development, all of the stuff that goes into education that's not subject matter specific. So you're going to graduate with a degree from the College of Arts and Sciences at UNCW with a degree in what you want to teach and a license to teach. We also offer additional K-12 programs in different foreign languages, phys ed and health, music, and we're starting an art program next year. And as you can see from the bottom here, we've got a brand new esports program. Now I know what you're thinking, Dean, it's sports. Why are we talking about esports as part of education? Well, there are a lot of educators using esports in the classroom. And there are a lot of people that play video games who want to go on to coach esports in middle school and in high school. So we're one of the only programs, or we're one of the only schools to offer esports. So it's kind of exciting right now. And then last but not least, some puzzle pieces of pride. A couple of these I've already mentioned. The state of North Carolina gives us an exemplary designation. We've got a 12 district PDS partnership. So when it comes time for those field experiences, if you want to experience a big school or a small school or a school in the middle of nowhere, a school in the middle of a big city, the school with lots of technology, whatever it is, we're going to have those partnerships ready for you. We've been the recipient of the Chris McAuliffe Award for Teacher Excellence. But really, when it comes down to it, we're going to prepare you to be an amazing educator. We're going to support you. We're going to mentor you, but not just while you're a student, after you've graduated and you have your own classroom. And then obviously a strong record for jobs after graduation. Octavia, hi.
Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is well. My apologies. So I will go ahead and discuss the Wright College of Education at Appalachian State University. So we were founded as a teacher's college, as many of the UNC schools were founded as teacher colleges in 1899. And so we have a pretty large education program. And we have about 20, you can go to the next slide. We have about 20 different majors within our teacher education program. And so there have some in career and technical education, including things like agriculture education, business, family and consumer sciences. So if you're interested in teaching something like foods or foods too, or apparel and design, you could do something in that field. Child development, we do have 2 majors in child development, but only one of them leads to a licensure program. We have one in elementary ed, which is our largest program. Middle grades and all of the content areas, special education, and then our secondary subjects are listed there as well as all of our special subjects. And those will be allow you to teach in grades K through 12. And so all of these lead to your initial license for teaching in North Carolina. So they are not all housed within our college. Sometimes you are split. So if you are in our secondary or special subjects, then your main program is going to be housed within the academic building of that subject. And then you will take classes within the Wright College of Education as a partnership with that. Next slide, please. So at a glance, we have the most alumni with their national board certification in the nation, which we're really, really proud of that. That means that our alumni can go out after 5 years, get that certification, and then, as it says, teach anywhere in the nation. So we're very proud of that. We're second in the nation for our teacher education program via US News. And so again, points of pride there. No matter where you are in North Carolina, you will definitely have a North Carolina Wright College of Education grad, whether that be from graduate school or undergrad. They're definitely in all of the North Carolina counties. We also offer 2 residential learning communities within our university. So one of those is specifically for transfer students. It's a traditional RLC. You live together that first year that you're on campus, and you do some social programming. And the second one is our ACES program. It's Appalachian Community of Education Scholars. And it's a 4-year program for first-year students that are interested in leadership, professional development, and service within the education field. They learn a lot about what it means to be in education beyond the classroom. They engage with lots of faculty and staff within our college, participate in some research opportunities as well. And then last but not least, we do have plenty of opportunities for students to teach abroad. And so that's available through our Student Teaching Abroad program. It's a 5-week program that takes place the last semester of their student teaching, or during their student teaching experience. And it's for 5 weeks, and they can do that in one of 7 countries. And so a lot of students who are interested in teaching abroad take advantage of that opportunity because it definitely helps them get their foot in the door, understand what it means to teach abroad. And they are usually gainfully employed pretty quickly in the country that they are interested in serving. So, thank you.
All right. So at this point, we wanted to keep the presentation portion of the day pretty short so that we would have an opportunity to answer questions. So we'll pull up the chat and let's see. Kristen's asking, which of the colleges present offer online teaching degrees? I'm particularly interested in more about the 2+2 degree completion programs. So I think right now everybody's offering online because of COVID, but generally speaking, who's offering online?
I'll step in, Dean. At Fayetteville State, just as you just suggested, during the COVID climate, we are offering opportunities for online degree programs. However, once we kind of move out of that climate, especially when it comes to freshmen, incoming freshmen will not be allowed an online degree completion experience or degree experience outside of the COVID climate. We do offer the 2+2 type programs. Specifically, we have what's known as a 10K program, which means that we're offering a 4-year completion program that will cost you less than $10,000, which pretty usually equates to you not really paying much at all, especially if you're financial aid eligible, excuse me, Jesus. And so we do have those 2+2 type programs that the student is referring to, and they are completely online if that's what you choose to do. So you can be on campus with that 2x2 program, or if you prefer, you can do it completely online right at your house.
At A&T, we don't have, well, we do have one program you can do online. That's our agriculture education program that does align with the 2+2 program, but all of our other programs, unfortunately after COVID are in like face-to-face. And it's more so because of the experience that you receive when you're going out into the field. So a lot of that you can't do online. So because of the field work requirements that we have, that's why we don't have as many online options.
I would also echo what Brittney has said. We don't have any online programs. We have a hybrid program that's available, but it's in our one of our satellite locations in Caldwell and Hickory, which is about an hour or so away from our main campus. And it's for those same reasons. We really believe that the field experiences that you'll gain are really going to be beneficial if you were to do those face-to-face.
Yeah, I'll echo almost all of that by saying that any good teacher preparation program is going to require face-to-face field experiences. We actually do have a couple of online programs, but even those programs require that you be in Southeastern North Carolina because you still have to do all your field experiences face. Right now, almost everything is offered online, and field experiences are being done in a virtual environment. But once COVID's over, we have a very limited amount of programs that we do online. Thank you. We have another question asking, have any of you had any transfer students that have completed the AA or AS teacher preparation programs? If so, what's the difference, benefit of having teacher prep credits versus general Associate of Arts or Associate of Science? Does it help students get ahead and graduate early? And then they've given their contact information. Okay, we work with a bunch of community colleges, and I was actually a transfer student to UNCW myself, we have not had any students transfer with the specific applied sciences teacher preparation program, but we have a lot of students that will transfer credits from an early childhood education program. And the biggest advantage that those students have is they've already got experience where other transfer students are not going to have that same, I don't want to call it a field experience, but some of the community colleges have on-site childcare programs where they will get some experience. And then apart from that experience, As far as I know, all of the universities have transfer articulation so that your credits will transfer in. I know at UNCW, we have a transfer articulation tool where you can literally plug in everything that you've taken at a community college or another university and see what the equivalent is with us.
Okay. And that's pretty much the same here with us. We have a lot of connections with community colleges with the 2+2 programs. And also we do accept transfer credits as well. So of course that helps you to get ahead because you're already taking like some of your, your basic courses. So that way you can kind of jump on in more into your education core courses.
At Fayetteville State, just like our colleagues, very similar setups. We tend to be one of the more transfer credit friendly institutions because we are in that Fayetteville, Fort Bragg area. And so we have a lot of transfer students who have experiences and, from different colleges literally throughout the world. And so to eliminate frustration, we've gone through a lot of gyrations to make sure that we are as transfer credit friendly as possible. And so, especially if you're graduating from within the state of North Carolina, as from one of the community colleges here in our state, we have as Dean alluded to, we've got lots of articulation agreements with the community college systems because we want to eliminate some of those frustrations because there will be plenty of time to, have to get on track and take some very specific courses. So we want to make sure that those core courses, we're very friendly with accepting those.
Yeah, same thing going on at Appalachian. We definitely are transfer friendly. The AS and teacher education, we have not had any students to come yet. And so we look forward to working with those students when the time comes. And then we do have quite a few students that transfer with the early childhood associate's degree, which helps out pretty well. We don't necessarily call it a 2+2 at App. We like to make sure that students know that it's for us, usually about 2.5 years that they're going to complete a degree, especially if it's an elementary ed degree. That tends to take a little bit longer based off of our coursework. But we do offer lots of opportunities for students to transfer pretty well.
Thank you. The next question is, what are good minors for elementary education? We all have great minors. Real quick, I'll just hop through a couple of mine. We've got that new certificate in esports that's good for all areas of education, but a leadership minor works really well. And we've had a lot of students go through our teaching English as a second language minor that's become very popular as of.
You're on mute, Britt.
Okay, I was going to suggest the same thing as far as like with the the Spanish minor that helps when going out into your inclusive schools as well. So that's one of our most popular ones. We don't suggest something that's too rigorous because you already have a full plate in their sort. So definitely something that will kind of enhance your, your elementary or secondary degree.
At Fayetteville State, we're actually in developing that esports option as well. We have sports management that's become very, very popular, especially amongst our student athletes under our health and physical education program. So, and again, some of the similar opportunities that Dean and Brittney alluded to.
Yes, again, I would definitely agree with that. Along the lines of our health and PE, we don't have esports, so we do have a coaching minor that a lot of our HPE students, as health and physical education students, choose to take advantage of, along with all the others. If really just depends on your interest. I would agree with Brittney, maybe not something super rigorous if it's not going to benefit you in your career specifically. But if you're a chemistry major and you'd like to minor in biology and want to teach both of those subjects secondary, that would be a great opportunity. For our elementary students, definitely something related to teaching English as a second language, or if you'd like to become a math specialist or something like that later on, some of those things could be beneficial to you later.
All right, next question. Which schools offer a secondary education 4+1 undergrad and master's program?
Yeah, so at Appalachian, we have a secondary history education, 4+1. Again, we use those terms kind of loosely because they're not always transfer friendly as well. So we do offer that option. And so you'll be getting your master's degree in an additional year. And so that's an option for our secondary history students. Outside of secondary subjects, though, we do offer that accelerated master's program in reading education and special education.
At UNCW, we also have some programs that are formally listed as a 4+1. I alluded earlier to a brand new art education program that we have, it's going to be started next summer, and that will be a formal 4+1. Secondary education and middle grades education are very commonly done with one additional year after an undergraduate degree as well. But not always a formal agreement. Again, it depends on any transfer credit that you may have coming in. But if you have an interest in a master's degree, let us know early on and we can try to go ahead and fast track you on that.
Yeah, at Fayetteville State, similar. If you let us know early enough, we can create the program, we can create the timeline and the curriculum to help you satisfy, you know, the undergrad and the master's in what you deem as a timely manner. But it's all about connecting with your advisors early, establishing your goals, and establishing a timeline with the curriculum established for you as well to be able to satisfy both opportunities at the undergrad and the master's level within the time frame that you choose. Well, not necessarily that you choose, but in a timely manner, because it's going to take you some time.
Okay. Ditto to what Michael said. Same thing.
Next question we have, is there any way to stand out in a college application for people wanting to be an education major? Anybody want to start with this, or you want me to start?
Well, you know, just like any other major, you know, we look at the rigor of your high school that you attend. We look at the profile of your high school. This year, you know, for the state universities, we're not requiring test scores, but we know that some students will still provide test scores, even though we don't need them. Again, we want to make sure that's clear. But we're looking at what you know, your clubs, your organizations, things you're involved in, you know, whether or not you have something such as maybe mentoring on your resume. You're mentoring young kids at the elementary schools, helping tutor kids already. So things that are already education or teacher related experiences that you might have on your resume would probably stand out just as much as, you know, wonderful grades and a rigorous transcript.
And also the fact that you chose element or education as a major in general is a great standout, because it takes a special person to work in education at all levels. So that alone is a great pinpoint. I know at least for us too.
Oh, let me add one other thing. You know, we do look at students who are part of those teacher cadet programs in the high schools. And so that's something that's really, really stands out, that you're part of those programs.
Something I always tell students is don't do everything at one time. You know, don't fill out your application and write your essay all at one time and submit it. You know, take the time to do it right. Have somebody read your essay. Have a couple people read your essay, but in the essay, you know, if you've wanted to be a teacher since you were 5 years old, you know, put that passion in there. If you just learned that you wanted to be a teacher this past year because of a person who inspired you, put that inspiration in your paper. So we've actually had students at UNCW that have had great grades, great test scores, and then they write about coming to live at the beach. And that typically is not a good thing to do. So make sure you put some time and effort into that essay and engage with the universities that you're applying to. So don't just fill out an application, do virtual visits, you know, follow us on social media. All of these different engagement pieces will make a difference.
Dean, I could definitely echo those locational schools and talking about wanting to live at the beach. The same thing happens. They want to live in the mountains. They love snow, that kind of thing. Well, we get that from a lot of students, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make you stand out, right? And so definitely adding something a little bit unique about yourself. One thing I tell students when they're writing their essays is we want to get to know you as a person, not what we see on your transcripts. We're already looking at that anyway. We already know what kind of grades you got and whatever subjects you're looking at. So we want to get to know you as an individual. Take your time with that essay. It's really important. And we do read all of the essays that come across our application portal.
So we only have a few minutes left. So if you have additional questions that we don't get to today, reach out to us. Let us know what we can do to help you out. We will get a transcript of all of the questions in the chat. So if you have questions, put them in the chat. We'll reach out to you. But if there are no more questions listed in the chat, we actually thought about some commonly asked questions. And with just a couple of minutes left, what are some specialized programs available to students majoring in education? We've got an education learning community, which is a living and learning community. We also have an honor society. We've got a club specifically for students who want to work with kids with special needs. There are lots of really great opportunities specifically within education. And I don't know if you guys want real quick.
I did forget to mention earlier about study abroad opportunities that we have within the College of Education. So we have students who travel pretty much all over. They've been to Dominican Republic. They've been there several times. We have a partnership with one of those schools there where they'll go and spend a week in the schools, as well as Belize. I had the opportunity to go with our students this year, right before COVID, like we got back in February. They've been to Greece, they've been to Paris, they've been all over. We're working to trying to get Africa abroad opportunity, but of course, COVID came, so hopefully that's something we can revisit within maybe 2021, 2022, who knows, but there are study abroad opportunities as well.
And that study abroad opportunity is something that we want to encourage students to take advantage of. You know, some of our graduates right now are literally teaching or administrators over in Dubai, over in Saudi Arabia, down in Brazil, you know, some of the other South Carolina countries. And so, you know, one thing about educators is when you're a great educator, you will get recruited by some folks that you would never have it imagined would recruit you, and they'll take you all around the world. You know what I mean? And so once you get those credentials, you can fly. You know, you can fly, and you know, we encourage students to fly by utilizing those study abroad opportunities to see what else is out there, to see what kind of opportunities are out there where your skill sets can be used, and take advantage of those things. So really, really important.
And just to piggyback off of Michael, when you said that you can fly, you know, opportunities are available, and a lot of times it's not on your dime. Like they are paying top dollar for, you know, teachers over in these countries. I have a couple of friends who are in Qatar, and I have two friends that are in Dubai, and they've been there for 2 years. And as of right now, they have no intentions of coming back because of the packages that they receive, and the free healthcare, free daycare, free pretty much. Like they just want you to teach, and you get a package that's phenomenal. So I do not blame them. So also think out the box. You don't have to stay here.
Looks like we got about a minute left, Dean.
Yes.
Yeah. I do want to add this. You know, we have some of the greatest programs, education programs in the entire country right here in the state of North Carolina. So it really boils down to where you want to live, you know, while you're pursuing your education, what environment you want to be a part of, because any of our institutions represented today, in addition to our other UNC system schools, we have great education programs. And so it's a really a no-lose situation. It just boils down to the environment that you prefer at the end of the day.
And reach out to all of them. You know, if you're interested in 4 or 5 different schools, reach out to them. Take a virtual visit if you can't do a real visit just yet. I think I got cut off.
No, you can finish your sentence.
It's still
Okay.
here.
So you reach out to people, get the question answered that you want answered, and meet some people.
That's a great way to end. Let's see here. Let me thank you all by giving us your time this afternoon to share some information about your respective institutions and programs. So students, thank you all for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a prompt to do a very quick survey so that we can gain some feedback from you all as to how we can continue to improve these programs. Also, this is just one of many sessions available through the CACRAO.org website. So again, that's CACRAO.org. So please check out some other sessions that you might be interested in participating in. And then also this session was recorded, so it will be added to the CACRAO website within a few days so that you can rewatch it and then further connect with any other sessions of interest. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.